everyone, and welcome to the Peace of Mind podcast. Was peace was ever an option? I said that completely incorrect. My name is Fiend, and this is my co-host.
I'm Sayla.
Wow, no gimmick this time.
I am the gimmick.
Aren't we all? Truly a
Maybe.
gimmick in life society, each of us with our own quirks. Each with everyone having their own things about them that makes them unique and special upon this world we live in, trying to survive day by day as an individual.
What is this, My Hero Academia?
I have no idea.
You did say with our own quirks.
Quirks was a word before that anime existed.
What? No.
God.
I don't believe you.
God, that really did become one of those things where it's like, oh, I can't say this word without people thinking I'm talking about a freaking piece of media or something. It's like, it's a word.
You're so quirky. I don't have powers.
Oh, like Deku?
Billy
Oh, Deku like the scrub? Oh, scrub like the weird pad sold by Billy Mays?
Mays here.
No, he's not here anymore.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If, hypothetically speaking, heaven were real, I would want the first thing I would see if I made it to heaven to be Billy Mays. Welcome. I want Billy Mays to be the one at the pearly gates, and I want him to greet everyone with Billy Mays here. Time to, and he like goes through the whole thing of casting the final judgment or whatever.
Looking over your life's accomplishments and the goodness
Yeah.
you've done upon the world. But wait,
Doesn't look.
more.
He's just naming off all of your sins, and you're just like, damn, I didn't realize I did so much. But wait, there's more. Fuck.
These sins were yours for only $9.99.
Oh. Oh no.
It's weird because that's one of those commercials where, like, as a kid, you got so freaking sick of them. But then when you got a little older, at least in the teenage years, it's like, oh, I kind of miss these.
Yeah, Billy Mays was a treasure.
What was the product they would always sell again? It was Oxy something.
Oxy, I was gonna say Oxycontin.
I was going to too. That's why I stopped myself midway through.
OxyClean.
That's what it was.
Oh, I didn't warm up my voice before this. I'm sorry, people.
Honestly, I was either gonna say that or oxymoron, which like that sheep in the big city. What the hell is that in my head? Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
That show was. I remember liking it as a kid, but I tried to watch an episode now. It's like, this is one of the most boring shows I have ever seen.
Really? The most boring?
One of. And it's like, there's stuff in there that actually is kind of funny. Like, I love the stupid advertisements they come in between, or the general and whatever his cohort's name is. Like,
Oh, yeah, the general dude.
oh, I forget what his name was, but they were always the funniest part of the show, and they actually were funny.
See, he was general dude.
I want to say his name was like General Nonsense or something like that.
I don't remember. I'm gonna look it up. Hold on.
And like the main thing I remember.
Imagine Googling sheep in the big city in 2022.
The weird thing is, like, when you actually learn like what they wanted to do with the show, but it got canceled too early. It's like they got creative. What's his name?
It was general specific, and then there was, and then there was private public.
That's what it was. Like, I'm not gonna say that they didn't have some funny ideas.
There was also a character called the Plot Device.
Oh my god, that's right.
Oh.
There was goofy stuff in there, but it's just like the main. When it wasn't centered around those characters, it was so just boring. Like, I did not give a crap about the sheep. I didn't care about the farmer. I didn't know who the good guy was. All I know was that the sheep wanted to hook up with a poodle. And
Oh, yeah!
It was just...
I forgot all of this.
And it's like, it would always get interrupted in between with an oxymoron commercial. From...
Oxymoron commercial!
Yeah, that was the name of their company. And it reminded me of, like, those commercials from Tim and Eric.
Oh, I wonder if Tim and Eric did that, because they were working at Cartoon Network at the time.
I don't know if they were for this one.
Look it up.
But
Let's...
it's interesting, the history of the show. Like, where they wanted to go with this was insane. Where it turns out, oh, the sheep is actually an evil dictator. Where the general was trying to stop him this whole time because he wanted to conquer the world. And it's like, what the hell? It was a creative show, but it was just so boring. Ugh.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is they would always pair it with an even more boring show, that Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
Oh, God. I remember that, too.
Like, the art style of that show was really nice, because I think it was done by the same people that did Schoolhouse Rock. But, my God, there was just a point in Cartoon Network where it was just, they had ideas, but they didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
And then there was a weird time in Cartoon Network where they just got a lot of Canadian cartoons, but some are good, some are just forgettable.
I can't find a list of all the side things that Tim and Eric worked on.
Are they still doing stuff? I haven't heard from them in a while.
I think they still tour.
Huh. I mean, I also wasn't the biggest Tim and Eric fan, so I guess I wouldn't really be keeping up with them.
They had bedtime stories and something called Beef House.
What?
Yeah, I don't know anything about them though.
Like, that sounds like one of their products. I have no idea what it's about though.
It really does.
The only thing I can, like, straight up remember from Tim and Eric stuff was just Tom Goes to the Mayor.
Wait, they did Shrek the Third promos?
Oh, God. They did the worst movie from Shrek?
That's interesting.
Like, you've seen the Shrek movies, probably, right?
Probably.
The third one was the worst, and, like, I could defend the others, but that one was just bad. Because that's when it's all about, oh, Shrek is gonna be a father, but he's going to go kidnap Justin Timberlake because his father-in-law died, and he needs a new king for
Oh, yeah! That's the one with... That was, Shrek 3 introduced Puss in Boots?
No, Shrek 2.
Shrek 2 did, okay.
And
But
Shrek
he was in
2
3.
was amazing. I love Shrek 2.
I mean, I also love Shrek.
And I know it's like, it's one of those things that became a meme in a series, but it's like, no, the movies are good. Minus the third
I can't tell if you caught that pun or not.
I did not.
You said, I love Shrek 2, and I said, I also love Shrek.
Oh, god damn it.
I did.
I was getting all excited to talk about Shrek, and except for the third one because that one's dog trash, but then you just ruined it.
Yep. So, segue. We haven't uploaded a podcast in a while.
Yeah, we've been busy, sad, bored.
Busy.
Reason here.
I mean, we've managed to put out some gameplay videos. It's been sporadic, but we've been doing it. We've been slowly working on stuff, but
Yeah,
being
hey audience, here's a fun Mad Lib for you. We haven't done a podcast in a while because blank. Word.
oh, I want to see answers. But no, what was I saying? Yeah, we've been uploading things when we can. It's been a little sporadic, but being the fact that it's just the two of us and we do all of the editing and everything ourselves, and we're not professionals by any means, but it's fun.
I'm not.
No, Fiend, we're learning.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the times I'll watch back some of our videos and like see some of your edits, and they'll actually make me laugh quite a bit.
Oh God, you watch our stuff?
Yeah, somebody has to.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's been a couple months. We've been wanting to do a podcast, but we've just been busy and only really been able to record like once a week most weeks. So we're just kind of behind on everything we want to do, but we're trying. So the more people watch and let us know that you're enjoying it, the more that we can kind of put into it as well. But we had a couple months back, we both went to Seattle. I got to go visit Fiend and another friend, and we hung out in Seattle and we went do things and adventure, and we had a time.
And this friend is a total punk, and they know why. And
yeah, what a foxy punk.
Right?
So I guess we figured, once we finally got to do a podcast again, we wanted to do this while it was fresher in our minds. Things just kept coming up, and we put making a podcast to the side while we worked on other videos a little bit more. But yeah, we went to Seattle. We went to a bunch of places, and we wanted to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, both got busy with the house guest. I got busy watching sheep in the big city. You know how it goes.
The way you put that
What?
was both. I mean, either way that we put it, it wasn't wrong.
Exactly.
But no, I had somebody visiting for like the entirety of last month, so
We were busy.
I was unable to do much as far as recording, but we managed a little bit.
Yeah, you were being a good house host, and I was being a sad blob on a chair.
So Fiend wasn't doing anything different.
Oh.
But yeah, so I mean, Seattle, what do we want to talk about first there?
Well, what did we start with? Like, what was the first thing we did? Like, you got there before I did.
Yeah, but I wanted to specifically talk about the times we had together.
Well, where do we begin?
I mean, we played board games.
Ah, yes, we went to the board game shop.
We went to the board games.
Which was actually a really cool place where it was like both a board game place and
A restaurant.
Ooh, actually, you wanna know where we could start this with?
Mm-hmm.
When you guys picked me up.
We could. And how Trip completely forgot about your hydrophobia and was like, "Oh, let's go walk next to the lake." And I'm just laughing, and I'm like, "Yes, let's."
It's like, hey, Fiend, why are you shivering so much? No reason.
We're right next to the Actually, yeah, it was a river. We were right next to the river between, Washington and Portland. And
And he was telling me all these stories about the boats and everything, and I'm just trying so hard not to panic.
so we created a character. We created a character while we were there.
We did?
The salty old fisherman.
Oh my god, yes!
It was like, what if when you ordered the fish from this place, like there was just like a salty old fisherman that was just like, where you'd order the catch of the day. And then a salty old fisherman would come out and be like, I'll be right back with your catch. And like, you wouldn't figure out the catch of the day until he came back with it.
You could hear him just flailing around in the back of the restaurant trying to get something. And he eventually like dissected it even further to where he's just going to an aquarium where you see the food and everything, and he's just jabbing a spear into the aquarium. He was a fighter.
But I got him. Oh my god. I wish I remember half of what we came up for that guy, because I remember I couldn't breathe.
Oh, we went so far on that one. And like the biggest irony was like the food didn't it make us sick?
It didn't make us sick, but you and I both have indigestion problems. So the entire ride back, we both got we both got car sick, but we both were also having like really bad indigestion problems, and it's like,
yeah, because like
God.
The food I got like salmon, and oh god, it makes me sick just thinking about it. But it was like, it was some like how oh god, this is actually making me queasy. Like it was some sour lime dill rice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I actually am getting sick from this. And just thinking of that taste, and the fish was either over or undercooked, but it was so mushy that it's like the whole ride over to Seattle, my mind is just trying to think of, don't think of that food, while also saying, hey, remember that food? It was just so... It's like, oh god, I am not going to be the one to ruin Trip's car. I am not going to be that one.
I thought you said you liked it.
I liked the fish, but it was everything else that made me sick.
See, I didn't know that. I just thought you liked it, but you were just having indigestion problems like I was.
Oh no, it's like that rice, whatever. Oh, it was the rice and the asparagus. Oh god. It was one of those mixture of tastes where it wasn't bad at first, but every time I think about it, I just get sick.
I see. I mean, I thought I overall like whatever. I can't even remember what I got, but I remember I really liked it. And then but indigestion problems, because I just have a rough time with indigestion these days. I'm getting old, Fiend. My birthday was 2 days ago. At the time of recording this podcast.
Oh, and then the whole drive down, we were listening to like I forgot his name. It's the guy that voices the Brain. We were just
Oh yeah. God, I can't remember his name right now either.
And we were just listening to his quotes the whole ride down, and we were just laughing like goddamn hyenas at the critic parts.
Yeah. And then the crazy thing, it was later that week we got to see him.
Yeah.
We didn't even, it wasn't even like a planned thing.
Yeah.
It just kind of came up.
Yeah, because like originally I was only down for a couple of days because work is a pain in the ass. And Trip was like, hey, if you take these days off, we'll bring you over again. It's like, good God, dude, do you know how much gas is? So he came by and picked me up for a few days.
Yep. And then one of my other friends in Seattle was just like, oh, hey, Comic-Con is in town this weekend. I forgot I was going to that. Y'all should join if you can. And then we're like, sure. And so we went to Comic-Con on a whim. And I
just get a random message. It's like, hey, we're going to Comic-Con. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we got to see what are their names? Because I don't want to not name them at this point. I can't remember.
I know one was Robert Paulson because he's
Yeah,
the one
Robert
that
Paulson was there. Um,
Maurice
then
LaMarche.
the Maurice LaMarche, yes, and then there was also what's his name? The guy who does
The one from Samurai Jack.
yeah.
Oh God, Phil Lamar. Oh God, how did I
Phil
forget his
Lamar,
name?
God, see, I can't even remember names at this point.
And then
uh,
Greg DeLise.
yeah,
She's the one that's like the Nickelodeon voice actress known for.
yeah, and then they did a Breakfast Club reading
Oh my God, that shit was gold.
as different characters that they voiced before. That shit was funny.
Oh my
That
God.
was that alone was worth the trip to that.
I love that whole thing.
Yeah, and we also went to the Pop Culture Museum.
I loved that place. That was really cool.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to go to. They had a lot of neat stuff to look at, and it's one of those places that honestly I went to. I loved it, especially the horror exhibit. That was probably my favorite part.
Oh, I could go on and on about that place. Like, I remember the first thing we stopped at was the theater, which was cool that this was a museum with a theater in it.
Oh yeah, they were playing Nirvana, of course, because it was in Seattle. They were playing Nirvana unplugged, and we sat there listened to a song in like the theater, and it was actually really cool because it was
Yeah, I feel we could have ended up just staying in there for a good while because we were comfy.
yeah. But yeah, then we wandered around and saw the music exhibits. There was the indie video game exhibit, which was filled with kids sitting and hogging up all the computers that had like
Except
games
for the
playing on them,
ones.
except for the broken ones that were probably broken by the kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the horror exhibit was like there was a horror exhibit and the sci-fi exhibit, and both of those were really cool. But the horror exhibit really took the cake there. I really loved that.
Oh, I could have stayed in there for so much longer, reading every single little podium about what it was about. I wanted to do that Nemesis thing because it was the one where it was an interactive Nemesis or alien. And for some reason, we were like, oh, let's pick the alien, see what that does. It's like, why the hell did we pick that one?
It didn't really do much of anything, which is why we didn't end up.
See Nemesis.
We did it because Trip wanted to see the alien because Trip is more familiar with Alien than Resident Evil.
He needs to get familiar with Resident Evil. Just saying.
Yeah, he does.
Kind of surprised it wasn't anything from Stranger Things, though. I figured that would have been like a modern inclusion, but
It is a pop culture, but I think it's history. I think Stranger Things will be one of those things that once it ends, will end up in a place like that.
At this rate, I don't know what Netflix... Like, that's basically one of the few things keeping them alive.
I still haven't seen season 4. I need to get on that.
It's alright. Like, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, this season wasn't as great as I remembered. It has characters I absolutely love, but
yeah. I mean, I still want to see it, but I just haven't. It hasn't been on my priority list of things to watch.
Like, it still has Steve. That's all it needs.
Hey, Steve.
God, if you don't love Steve, you don't love Stranger Things.
So, the other funny thing is that I've been to Seattle. Like this was my third time going to Seattle. Probably one of my first times actually exploring a lot of places in it.
Yeah.
It's also the first time that I actually saw the Space Needle, which
that was neat.
I never really cared about I have to see it. But since we were close enough, I was happy to see it. I was like, oh, cool.
And
actually got to see it. Take some pictures of it. And
when we got there, the first thing I thought was it's that color? Because, like, you see all the pictures and you think it's an eggshell blue. It's like, no, it's not that color at all.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty big, and I would have loved to gone up it, but at the same time, it's way too expensive to go up there.
Oh yeah, we could have spent so long just wandering around that little bazaar area because
yeah, like that was really cool. Like right around the Space Needle, and which is right next to the museum.
It was like a little street market area.
Yeah, it's basically just like a little fairground.
It's like, I could have wandered this whole area for hours. Like, oh, remember the guys that were going to give you money if you just watched a video?
Yeah.
Why didn't we do that? Like,
I don't know.
What stopped us from doing that to get free money? Even if it was $5, it's like we just watched YouTube.
I think when it came down to it is like, they just want us to watch an ad, and we have somewhere we want to go.
Yeah, but free money. I mean, it's not really free. You're paying with your time, but it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got to ride the monorail and learn why monorails are pointless.
That's what we were going to talk about. Monorails are not pointless. However, the one in Seattle has one stop each way.
I love it because it's almost like it tells you, yeah, this monorail is kind of pointless to have around, but hey, you rode it.
I mean, it was neat. I'm much happier to ride it than to walk all that way.
For sure.
Like, my legs were killing me. I've realized how out of shape I've gotten, especially after the pandemic.
Both of our legs were messed up during that vacation.
Yeah, it's like I realized, like, damn, I'm way out of shape. I really need to exercise and walk more. And
yeah, and Trip took me hiking up a mountain.
It's true.
I remember getting back to the apartment because we could only go halfway because my legs were gonna give out. And I remember getting back to the apartment. It's like, this is how I die. This is how I'm going to die. And that's why Trip has such an amazing taste in cheeses that I really wish I could find. I have looked everywhere, and I cannot find this stuff.
But really made me realize how out of shape I am, and I really just need to like go on more walks, just little walks, even because I'm getting older. I just turned 37. It's so fucking weird to think about. Like, it feels like just yesterday I was in high school, but
I mean, it was yesterday.
Shit.
I don't know why you went into that high school, but you did.
Just visiting. Do you have a kid here? Nope.
You ever play with Monopoly and you just go to the jail to just visit?
Yeah, I just wanted to hang out. See what school's all about. Maybe I'll come back.
That seems like such a bad teacher joke, too, where it's like, yeah, it's almost like yesterday I was in high school. It's like, that sounds like such a bad teacher joke, and I would kind of love it. But let's be honest, teachers lack a sense of humor anymore, and it's very depressing to think about.
God.
But yeah, I know exactly how you feel. I was having that whole mortality thought a couple days ago, and it's not a fun thing to think about.
No, but there's things that we can do to help us live longer and be healthier and have more energy. But
like be Trip, because my God, he is amazing.
I mean, the thing with Trip is that he never stopped.
He's amazing.
We should force him to come on and do a podcast with us one of these days.
Because he's
just
amazing.
Bullshit. And get on a podcast and just bullshit with us one day.
Because he's amazing. Like, we can't say Trip's praises enough. That dude has helped us out so much over the years.
Yeah.
And he's a punk for it and knows why, and that's why we hung out with him for a couple weeks.
Oh, the other big thing we need to talk about that we did was the pinball museum.
That wasn't the thing I thought you were gonna mention, but yes, let's talk about this first.
The pinball museum was fucking cool. It was only 2 stories, right? And it wasn't that
Only
big.
What, the most
No, listen. It was only 2 stories. It wasn't that big. But
it
they
was
had,
so cool.
they had so many, like, they had a bunch of retro pinballs and stuff like that, all the way up to, like, newer stuff. Like, there was one that, like, was from, like, 2021 that came out, and I just could not.
One.
No, that's not the one.
Oh,
I was on. I can't remember the one that I was on, but it was like the night one. Yeah. I couldn't get off of it. It was really fun, but basically you just go in, pay a fee, and then it's free play on all the pinball machines. So.
And I remember at one point, like with nearly all the newer machines, my face was just popping up on all of them.
Because you kept getting high scores somehow.
And I didn't know that they were taking pictures the whole time.
That's what you get.
And I remember you were like, were you playing these machines? Maybe. Why? I don't know. You tell me. Like, I didn't know they were taking pictures. And then we ended up playing the Lord of the Rings one with Trip, trying to do a little contest.
We played a couple of them. We did a couple different ones. We were doing 3 players.
And Trip cheats. He freaking cheats.
I won one. One of did Trip win the other one?
Yeah, I think all of us won one.
Yeah.
Player
we
4
did.
Sucked, though.
Yeah, we had to do player 4 in one of them. Because we messed up, so we were like, well, I guess we have a player 4 now.
He just let the ball go through the flip. He was not good. And that was the Lord of the Rings one too, where, oh my god, this is before that crappy Amazon Lord of the Rings thing. Trip was so mad about that series. That was one thing he would always talk about whenever an advertisement came out of nowhere about it.
Jeez, yeah.
But god, and I love pinball as is. It's probably my favorite go-to arcade machine. To the point where I almost wanted to learn repair for pinball machines. Haha. But it's like, yeah, it's kind of neat. And my grandparents had like a pinball machine they just had in their basement that didn't work.
All right, you were talking about that.
And it's like, you know, I kind of wanted to learn how to fix that at some point. Just never got into it because, shocker, there's not really a market for it. And yet, the coolest thing out of that was we were able to get a pinball to take home. I don't know why, but that made me so happy.
Yeah, I still have it. I have it in my bag, and every time I'm digging through my bag, I find it. I'm like, oh yeah, pinball.
Like if I need a fidget toy, that's all I need because I just like to roll it. But you know, the place I am surprised you didn't mention was the cat cafe.
That is correct. We did go to a cat cafe.
And oh my god, I did not want to leave without one of the kittens.
There was that one specific cat that was like, there was one in particular that before our drinks even came out, I found this one that was sitting there. It was just laying there. The most docile, quiet kitten. But as soon as I went up to it, it stood up and was just super affectionate and was just like rubbing all over me, and it would force me to pet it if I stopped petting it and everything. But as soon as I walked away, it would just lay back down.
It was
so
cuddly kitten, and I wanted to take him.
I could not leave it. And then Trip came over with my drink, was like, your drink's here, and I'm just like, I can't leave this cat. And he was like, well, you better come back because this other cat keeps trying to drink fiends.
Just like I liked whipped cream.
I just kept trying to drink your drink. I'm just like,
that one became our buddy too, and like we had one. It's like, oh yeah, he really likes whipped cream.
Yeah, that one cat was so fucking precious.
So much.
I want a kitten someday. Like,
I do too.
once I'm in a position where I can actually have a pet again, I'm 100% getting a
That's
kitten.
that's been my mentality too. It's like I would love to get a pet again, whether it be a dog that it doesn't have allergens, or a cat, or even a pigeon. It's like just I want a pet, and I just want something to love, but I got to be more stable.
Yeah, it's pretty much that for me too. I mean, I haven't had a solid job, and I haven't had an actual job in years now. You know, and other than like, I do art and stuff like that, and I make an okay amount. Like I make enough to pay my bills and stuff, but I'm still
Right.
getting taken care of from a lot of other like for a lot of other stuff, and I'm just like, I I just I need a job.
Yeah, I've been tossing out applications again recently, even though I'm still not sure if I'm staying here. But it's like I need to get out of Wally World. I can't stand that place anymore.
Yeah,
Like, there are
you def.
coworkers that make me feel bad if I left, but it's like I can't do this anymore. It is driving me insane.
Yeah, I hear you. I can't go back to doing retail.
It's
I
horrible.
can't. It's not even just that too. Like it is horrible. Like it's awful, but I'm just my Tourette's is just getting worse and worse as I get older, and it's harder for like whenever I've luckily not thrown my back out in a while, right?
Good.
But this is ever since I stopped like having to go into a job every day.
Right.
Like if I could find a work from home job that I could sit at home and actually work and like at my and like keep myself comfortable, you know, the way I need to,
Right.
then I'm fine. But I can't going into an office and just dealing with a lot of anxieties and stuff like that. It really throws my Tourette's for a loop, and I end up like throwing out my back all the time, and I hurt myself, and it's just I don't want to be in pain like that all the time. Like
Mm-hmm. And for me, it's like I wouldn't mind going back into an office setting again. I kind of felt comfy in that sort of environment, but I am one of the people that will always say working in retail will destroy your social anxiety. It's completely ruined.
yeah,
And it's mainly because, my God, there are a lot of customers that just treat retail workers like absolute garbage.
yes, the worst people.
Mm-hmm. And they make up such a large number. And so irritating. Because, like, where I work, I'm normally in the back, but sometimes I have to put stuff out and everything. I've gotten people mad at me because I don't know the location of a certain product, and it's like, I'm not out here normally. I don't have a way to find that. And I'm told that why do you even work here? It's like, oh, how many times do I gotta say it?
Not my department. Leave me alone.
And
Don't be an ass.
and it's not just them, but the coworkers do not help. My God, they just, ugh. I want to get out of that place. I want to get out of retail so bad.
Yeah,
Like,
kind of.
I want something more vocal or in radio or in office, just something.
Yeah, I would super love if we could do like I would love it if this eventually took off and I could actually like just do something like make videos and stuff like that because I love entertaining people. I love doing this type of stuff, but like it would have to hit a point where I can actually
Sustainable.
yeah, and you know
We need
things
it.
like that. Yeah, things like that. Like we would have. I also don't want to get it to a point where it like stresses me out and stops becoming fun.
Yeah.
But you know, I you know I I love this because one, it's fun,
Yeah.
and two, it gives us, a weekly project to work on. Like you know, it how am I wording this? It gives us something to do together every week.
Yeah.
And that's kind of invaluable to me, like, or that's super valuable to me because we keep up with each other, and we it's like friends who go to a bar, and hang out at the bar, and every week so that they can hang and they see each other and stuff like that. But we don't do that. So
That's such
instead,
a line of jokes I could have thrown in there, but no, go on.
but instead we have this, and we hang out and we chat and we play games. It gives us something to do, and I even if nothing ever comes of this, I've at least got that to say, hey, it's worth it for just that alone.
It gets us into the house.
It gets us into the house. Yes. It gets us off of video games and onto video games.
Yeah. And
together.
I'm definitely not going to say we're against getting certain advertisers. Wink, 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 wink.
Who knows? I just hope that other people get an enjoyment out of this. That's the one thing that it's the one thing I hope for more than anything with this, is that people like it and want us to keep doing it. So.
Oh man, the whole time we were talking about Seattle, we didn't really get to talk about our Comic-Con experiences. Like, besides the one panel, but I think it's mainly because you and me were in so much pain.
Oh yeah, no, we were in pain like before we even got there. Like, our legs were killing us.
Yeah, because this was the day after I'd gotten done hiking, so I was barely walking, and Fulf was already having walking problems as is. And
yeah, I was walking all week.
And it's like, we did not plan this at all.
Yeah, I was walking all week, so I when it came down to that, I was just in so much pain. But it was good. It was good for me, and I needed to do it more.
Yeah, and Trip bought ham.
Oh yeah, Trip bought a board game thingy called Ham.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, it's like, I don't know if I like con experiences where, like, we don't have enough plans. Because I remember we were rushing through a lot of that, and it's like, I kind of want to see, I guess we got, it kind of rushed on by, and I get why we had to rush through a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
it's something that I definitely want to do again with better planning.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree. Because it was great fun, but yeah, definitely needs like spur of the moment thing is a little tough. Plus, we could actually plan on it without being hurt. We can actually rest up and be ready for it, and actually like, okay, we're going to a con. We need this, and this, and
that. And if there's like certain panels an individual one of us wanted to do or something, we could have like a certain meeting place in the middle. So that way, if I wanted to, I don't know, go to like a Hamilton sing along, and you guys wanted to do something, just spitballing off the top of my head.
So, where are we at on time?
Oh, we are at 45 minutes.
All right. So, should we do a media and we? Do you have some stuff to talk about?
I think I do. Oh, are we just going into it?
Today's podcast is brought to you by
corn.
Corn. Just corn.
It's amazing.
It's a band.
It's a nut.
It's a nut.
My mother loved corn nuts, and I never understood why. So, do you have anything you want to start with for the media and we, or?
I was gonna let you start with that since you said yes to that. So,
well, I did see a movie within this time. And
just one?
Actually, yes. Weirdly enough. God, this movie. So, I'm a big horror fan. And I'm a big fan of this series in particular.
Got it? Fiend's a big horror fan.
I went to go see Halloween Ends.
Oh.
And let me just say, Halloween Kills kind of annoyed me. Because, good God, you get sick of seeing the whole town being a bunch of morons so often that's just, it gets old. And it gets to a point where it's like, if they died, they kind of deserve it. And it was almost like a whole movie talking about, oh, this is mob mentality and why it's bad. But my head was like, look, we just gotta see Ends just so that way we can say we did. And I don't know if I like this movie less or not. Because my God, this just... Imagine a movie series where they tried to set up a character to be this ultimate evil being to where they're basically not human anymore and they're the embodiment of evil. Now say screw that, we're going to throw that away. This movie is going to hardly even involve that character, even though it's the ending movie. And we're just going to bring in this new character that's going to be a monster, even though the whole point of the movie was to not label people as monsters. And oh my God, it's so bad.
Really?
Yeah. And considering Kills was super gory compared to most movies, this one got irritating because they cut away a lot of the kills, and the main threat, Michael Myers, I think he only kills like 1 or 2 people. Like,
really?
Yeah, this movie is hardly about him. And again, most of the town are being complete assholes. Because Laurie is trying to write this book about how she survived her boogeyman, so to speak, and everything. And every time she's going about the town, she's getting called a freak, and she's getting blamed for bringing Michael Myers into this town, when it's like, you know what she survived. Last movie, you were all on her side. This is just dumb. And again... This movie is hardly about her and Michael. It's literally about 2 other characters. One that just got introduced to this movie. And, oh my God, like... So, this is the beginning of the movie. Basically, he accidentally kills a kid in the beginning of the movie.
Accidentally?
Yeah, actually. Because he's watching over this rich family's kid, and they have a 3-floor home for some reason. And this is already known Michael Myers was out there and everything. So this kid, being an absolutely little shit, locks him in the attic saying that the boogeyman's gonna get him and everything like that. So of course, the babysitter's freaking out trying to kick the door down. He kicks the door down. The kid gets nailed by the door. He goes off the stair railing. Conveniently, right as his parents show back up in the house.
Okay.
So yeah, the kid falls down 3 floors and just dies right there. And of course, this babysitter is seen as a monster. He's a kid killer. He deserved to be locked away longer. It's like, what's the moral you're trying to put into this movie? Because, spoiler, he becomes a serial killer. Like, he becomes Michael Myers' protege, so to speak. Before eventually kicking Michael Myers' ass and stealing his mask. Like, that scene just made me laugh, where you get this pipe view of him just beating the shit out of Michael Myers just to steal his mask.
Okay.
And it's like, last movie you were trying to make this character seem like he was the most unstoppable evil that couldn't be beaten by anything. This dude gets beaten by a freaking high schooler. And you think, oh, they're setting up for a new series with this guy. He's going to be a new big evil. Something about how, oh, evil isn't born, it's created. And then he kills himself.
Oh.
But he didn't kill himself. And then Michael Myers comes and kills him.
Oh.
Because he wants his mask back.
Well.
And the whole time I'm watching...
That's that, I guess.
The whole time I'm watching, it's like... Are we going to get the whole Michael versus Laurie fight? Even though in the last movie you straight up said that he's not hunting after Laurie. My God, that whole issue. Like, it's almost as if you could... I'd say you could almost skip kills and go to ends, but you can't! Because there are certain characters that die in that movie that you need to know about. So it's like, what part of this is actually part of the story? And you get the epic fight for about 5 minutes. And... oh my God. I left that movie just feeling so disappointed. Just...
wow.
I loved this series, but not that movie.
That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate.
And it made me not want to watch a movie for a while. So I just sat home and watched anime instead.
You would watch anime?
Well, what have you been watching then, huh?
Anime?
That's what I thought!
Oh gosh, as far as things that I've watched, I watched... okay, so I started watching, the new Gundam series.
There's a new one?
Yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam, which from Mercury. It's very good. Very, very good. Very gay.
Oh.
Yeah. But the Gundam designs are really cool. And the big thing that I didn't realize until somebody mentioned it to me.
Is that they're gay?
About it? Is that, is that the mech animation and stuff like that isn't CG.
Oh, they're doing that style of animation.
Yeah, like it's actually like they're not all like CG fights and stuff like that, and like, and I didn't realize it until somebody pointed out but it's it feels classic.
Dang, that's a really nice touch.
Yeah, and it's pretty good because it's basically Gundam High School. But the whole thing is like, Gundams, like actual Gundams are illegal. Anybody who like pilots a Gundam is called a witch. But the main character's Gundam, or the main character's, I want to keep saying Gundam, but her mobile suit, she ends up having to fight somebody in it, like, because they do, like, everything is decided by duels in this school. One of those things, but so she has to duel somebody, and then, like, everybody's like, wait, is that thing a Gundam? And then they start, like, freaking out, and then, like, it starts this whole, like, big political affair and stuff like that, where, like, the higher-ups are, trying to, like, classify it as a Gundam, and then somebody comes in and they're like, no, it's not a Gundam, it's this, blah, 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 and, like, so she's kind of having to deal with that on top of, because she won that duel, she's also got marked as, like, she took the title of holder, which is basically like whoever wins a fight with the holder becomes the holder type of thing, you know.
Right.
So now she's got all this extra attention on her and stuff like that she doesn't want. But also with that, the like leader of the school, I don't want to say principal, but like the head of the committee or whatever, his daughter is supposed to be engaged to whoever the holder is.
Oh.
So literally end of episode 2, she ends up engaged to this girl that she doesn't know really.
Oh.
And yeah,
There's just something funny about the thought of, is that giant mecha Gundam? No.
at the point of this recording, there's only like 5 or 6 episodes out, but it's really good so far. Like I haven't gotten into or like really watched a Gundam in so long. Like the only one I ever really watched was Wing.
Oh, the one on Toonami?
Yeah. And I like
Love
watched
Wing.
a couple I watched a couple other here and there. But yeah, no, like it's, if you haven't watched a Gundam in a long time, watch Witch on Mercury. It's actually really good.
I've been
So
meaning
far,
to watch Gundam Blood Orphans.
I heard that one was good too.
I can't get over the thought of like, it's that giant robot of Gundam. No, it's my toaster. I brought it from home. He followed me.
He followed me. Can I keep him? Now.
He's illegal. Then why did you build him?
Well, they didn't build him, but I'll let you watch it, and you, if you do, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I actually started watching season 3 of Digimon.
Wait, when you say season 3.
The one with Renamon.
Okay. Oh god, the Tamers. Is it Tamers?
Yeah.
Tamers,
I believe it's Tamers, yeah. The one where like the original 2 were like a TV show or whatever.
Yeah, like Tamers is weird in the sense that it's like, oh, Digimon is this public media thing everybody's hype about with the trading cards and such, but it's real.
Yeah, like, I made my own Digimon. Holy crap, he's real. It's such a weird premise. And the one thing I don't like about it is that it's one of those series where it kind of negates the past couple series because, oh, it was the other ones were a thingy thing.
I feel in this one's defense of that kind of story, it helps so that way it can become its own thing instead of like people hoping that these characters come back. It's like, no, it's just a TV show.
And I get that, but I don't like it. However, the show, saying I don't like that premise, I do like the show.
Oh yeah, Tamers is probably my favorite season because just, it goes places.
Yeah, I'm about, it was about 6 episodes or so. No, like, gosh, no, I was about maybe 12 episodes in.
Yeah, I also like that they, like, it takes a while for them to actually go to the digital world, but I like that whole aspect where it's like, oh, crap is happening in the real world because of this. And yeah, I do find it funny that, like, the way you tell someone what season this is, you know Renamon? Yeah, this is the one.
Ah, okay.
Just like how I think it was like, was it the 4th season or the 5th season? Where the way you say it, it's like, you know the one Digimon where they become the Digimon and it has the kick-ass theme?
Oh, that's the one I always hear is the worst season.
It's not bad, and it has the best theme. Like, I will argue it's better than the original. It is such a good theme.
I'll listen to the theme, but I don't know about the gosh.
Frontiers is fine.
Maybe I'll watch it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Look, I argue Fusions is the worst one, because that one was made directly for kids. Oh man, then there's the one where they're cops, Data Squad.
Really? I want to watch the newer one.
Try?
Yeah. I heard the newer one was, I heard Try was really good. Although whenever I say Try, I don't think of Digimon. I think of Slayers.
See, I don't know Slayers.
Slayers is it's a classic series. It's one of my favorites.
Oh.
And then there was like 3 original series that came out like in the 90s or whatever, with Slayers Next and Slayers Try. And then in like the early 2000s they actually released like 2 new seasons, and I was like, holy shit. And I haven't watched them.
God, that was such a magical time for American anime.
What?
Oh, I'm talking about like the Digimon era. Like, okay, I guess Try's like modern, but I'm still stuck thinking of Tamers, where it's like that was such an experimental time where America was starting to learn anime. Back in the days when the first time we got to see Dragon Ball Z was Goku going Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Yeah. You know that whole fight with Frieza was like 1 DVD cassette?
I believe it.
God, it's so...
It's like, how do you hype up a new episode during that whole thing? It's gonna be the same thing.
Yep. But, I mean, the story of why has been talked about to tedium, so, you know, I'm not going to get into any of that. But, yeah, so that's what I've been doing, other than a few video games here and there. Still playing Hunt. Started playing Splatoon.
What's wrong with you?
A lot. You got me, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon for my birthday, and I started playing that yesterday, and it's really good.
I heard it's a good one.
It is really good.
And yet you're not playing Persona 5 Royal. I don't know what to say.
I don't have the time to put into an MMO like that, right? Or not MMO. God damn. An RPG like that right now.
I am shocked there's no Persona MMO. There was a Shin Megami Tensei one a while back.
Oh yeah, the other game I started playing was I finally started playing Red Dead Redemption 2 after all these years, and I need to get back on that because I was having a blast with that. That's such a good game.
You've been having a better experience on video games than I have, that's for sure.
Yep.
Because I've been just doing the regular DVD stuff. That's same old, same old. Got Cult of the Lamb finally and been addicted to that.
I need to finish that.
And then came Scorn because it was free on Game Pass. Oh my god.
Heard a lot about that, but I should probably save that for another time.
I suppose so.
Maybe.
I'll remember it, don't worry.
Maybe in an upcoming podcast we can talk about it. Who knows?
Yeah. Talk
but
about
for
our
now,
favorite game disappointments.
For now, we'll leave y'all with that, and you know, hopefully y'all enjoyed our return to our rambling, and you know, hopefully we'll see y'all again soon.
Yeah. So we'll see you all later.
Goodbye.